Greetings fellow snowflakes! This is part one of a three-part series I'm going to do about Hinduism. I've taken a great interest in Hinduism since I was a young person of about 19 or 20. I learnt about Hinduism at school at about the age of 10 or 11 and I was already intrigued by it back then. Then in my very late teens and my early 20s I bought a Penguin Classics book of the Upanishads and also bought that Shiva figurine I have. At university, in my mid-20s, I studied philosophy and history, and I included modules on Indian philosophy and South Asian history in my course. Later on, around 2012 or so, I became heavily interested in Hinduism and was considering actually becoming a Hindu. I travelled to India that year too. So, although I am white and British, although I may still have much to learn about this fascinating religion, and although I am sensitive to criticisms of cultural appropriation, I think I can safely say that I do have some knowledge on the subject and a heavy dose of genuine respect for the Hindu faith. So I thought I'd share what I know, because I'm interested in creating more varied content for this channel, and religion is one of the subjects I have much interest in. In the first of my videos about Hinduism, I will talk about the Vedas and the Upanishads. The second will deal with the great epics of Ramayana and Mahabharata and the incarnations of Vishnu. The third will deal with the god Shiva and his family and also the varied manifestations of goddess such as Durga and Kali. I already made a video about the gods of the Vedas, those early deities of Indian religion that aren't generally worshipped today but are included in the sacred texts of the Vedas, texts that still form an important part of Hindu practice today. So you can see that video. Probably an annotation or something. So I'll just briefly mention that there are holy texts called Vedas, the most famous of which is the Rig Veda, and they involve ritual practice and prayers to the gods such as Indra and Agni. These texts still form a major part of Hindu practice, particularly amongst the Brahmin caste. But by approximately 800 BCE onwards, Indian traditions seem to start moving in a different direction. Commentaries on the sacred texts, called Upanishads, spoke a lot about a kind of essence that exists in all things, an essence called Brahman, or as I was taught in university it should be pronounced Brahman. The idea arose, the same one that inspired me when I learnt it as a child, that the many gods are but different faces or manifestations of the one divine essence. This is a common idea in modern paganism too, by the way, and seems to have been inspired by influence from Eastern traditions. Often pagans will speak of one pantheist kind of deity. Pantheist means that God is literally identical with the universe itself, so it's very similar to a divine essence in all things, and that the many gods they honour in their rituals and worship are actually different manifestations or representations of that deity. The Hindu idea is often that the divine essence itself is kind of impersonal, so it's difficult to form a relationship with, sort of abstract, but that the various gods are manifestations, more personal versions of the divine essence, and so are easier for the human mind to form a connection with. The idea expressed in the Upanishads is that there are different levels of knowledge, or as many Western commentators are fond of saying, enlightenment. Spirituality is a kind of journey, and as you grow, your awareness expands. Eventually you reach the level of understanding that all things are really this one divine essence, and that you also are part of this one divine essence. The Upanishads talk of the Atman, the self, and how it is actually the same as Brahman, the divine essence in all things. This truth can be found by looking inwards, and enlightenment comes in recognizing that the self is one with the all. Moksha, or liberation, is the release from rebirth that results from this awareness. Some of these ideas seem similar to Buddhist concepts, especially the concept of moksha and rebirth. I wonder sometimes which of these ideas originated in Buddhism and which ones originated in Hinduism. Clearly they have influenced each other a lot. The Upanishads are very philosophical in nature, and there's lots of musing on the nature of human consciousness, which the philosopher in me loves. I'm not sure I exactly agree anymore with the world as an illusion, everything is conscious on some level kind of conclusion that is hard not to draw from the words of the Upanishads, but I used to be a lot more inclined towards that way of looking at things when I was younger. But here are some key passages from the Upanishads. I hope you enjoy them. Bring me a fruit from this banyan tree. Here it is, father. Break it. It is broken, sir. What do you see in it? Very small seeds, sir. Break one of them, my son. It is broken, sir. What do you see in it? Nothing at all, sir. Then his father spoke to him, My son, from the very essence in the seed, which you cannot see, comes in truth this vast banyan tree. Believe me, my son, an invisible and subtle essence is the spirit of the whole universe. That is reality. That is Atman. Thou art that. Even as airy threads come from a spider, or small sparks come from a fire, so from Atman, the spirit in man, come all the powers of life, all the worlds, all the gods, all beings. To know the Atman is to know the mystery of the Upanishads, the truth of truth. The powers of life are truth, and their truth is Atman, the spirit. There the spirit sees not, but though seeing not, he sees. How could the spirit not see if he is the all? But there is no duality there, nothing apart for him to see. There the spirit feels no perfumes, yet feeling no perfumes he feels them. How could the spirit feel no perfumes if he is the all? But there is no duality there, no perfumes apart for him to feel. There the spirit tastes not, yet tasting not he tastes. How could the spirit not taste if he is the all? But there is no duality there, nothing apart for him to taste. There the spirit speaks not, yet speaking not he speaks. How could the spirit not speak if he is the all? But there is no duality there, nothing apart for him to speak to. There the spirit hears not, yet hearing not he hears. How could the spirit not hear if he is the all? But there is no duality there, nothing apart for him to hear. There the spirit thinks not, yet thinking not he thinks. How could the spirit not think if he is the all? But there is no duality there, nothing apart for him to think. There the spirit touches not, yet touching not he touches. How could the spirit not touch if he is the all? But there is no duality there, nothing apart for him to touch. There the spirit knows not, yet knowing not he knows. How could the spirit not know if he is the all? But there is no duality there, nothing apart for him to know. For only where there seems to be a duality, there one sees another, one feels another's perfume, one tastes another, one speaks to another, one listens to another, one touches another, and one knows another. But in the ocean of spirit, the seer is alone, beholding his own immensity. So I hope you enjoyed those philosophical bits of the Upanishads. So that was the Upanishads. These are lofty philosophical views of the Brahmins, however. They probably made little impact on the ordinary folk, but in time the many gods of the Vedas faded away to be replaced by the gods Vishnu, Shiva and their goddess consorts. The second and third videos I do about Hinduism will deal with Vishnu and his incarnations, and Shiva and his family. Until then, we're all different, we're all special, snowflakes unite, and thanks for watching.